Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask for all of those XRP holders out there, how are you feeling about the current market conditions? We started to see the dollar kind of rise a little bit. We've seen stocks kind of hit major resistance, reject off of it, causing a little bit of a sell-off in the overall market. We still are expecting some volatility. We are watching to see if we can get that lower price action on a lot of these altcoins. I have been very cautious for about like the last, I would say, roughly week and a half. We did make some money. We were in a lot of those nice lower positions. We were buying at those lower positions. Now we are taking a little bit of a de-risk measure and looking at a few of these areas of opportunity and really kind of seeing where we could go from here. I still am looking at XRP and I'm still watching 32 cents. If we do lose it, then I will be looking at the low range in the 20-cent zone. But we need to be patient. We need to really kind of watch a lot of things happening because right now we are seeing a big change happening, specifically around the US dollar. So one thing around the US dollar that I have been very cautious about is where we are at in price action on the US dollar. So a lot of people were saying, okay, well, the US dollar is continuously rejecting, and we're going to go lower, 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 lower. Now, I just have two areas of focus here, right? Our current area of price action, which is this zone here, and I want to bring you guys back over here to May of 2022. The only reason why I have these two areas highlighted, and the only reason why I'm watching these two areas is because of where we are at price action wise and where we recently just wicked down to, which is exactly where we were at back in May of 2022. Now, mind you, we lost the fundamental support EMA that we were trading against back here in 2022 of May, which was the 50 daily EMA, which is that orange line down there. We have been looking at higher time frames as well. We've been looking at the 3-day span as well as even the 5-day span, just to kind of see a little bit of a different picture. And most of all of the major EMAs on the US dollar so far have been lost. So arguably, the last major the last major support zone here is this fib level at about roughly like 101, almost 102. We still need to lose this zone back here because, as you guys do see, candle bodies are a lot more important than candlesticks, and we do see about like 101.5 almost. There's a lot of support here that we've bounced off of so far. So if we lose this, then yes, that's going to be very crucial for the US dollar. It will bring us down to about like 100, which is just $1. And then from there, we really kind of look at, okay, well, where's the next major demand zone? It would be down at like 98, and then after that, just a free fall, right? So we are watching the dollar closely. Now, a big catalyst event that I've been talking about around the US dollar that could drastically change the value is the petrodollar deal. Yesterday, we seen a huge update around the petrodollar deal. Breaking news, Saudi Arabia is open to discussions about trade in currencies other than the US dollar. Here we go. The world's largest oil exporter, which has maintained a currency peg to the dollar for decades, is seeking to strengthen its relations with crucial trade partners, including China. What have I been mentioning for the last couple months now? It's going all the way back to March of 2022 now. I've said, pay attention to what the BRICS are doing. And pay attention to Saudi Arabia because they are the biggest key fundamental aspect to the entire puzzle. What they do next will change everything. I've talked about the end of the dollarization global monetary system, aka, guess what? The West is losing its power. I said the dollar reserve currency will end. We will see a new reserve currency coming, and it's happening. The last major sign of this will be Saudi Arabia pulling out of the petrodollar deal. You see over here from Wall Street Silver, U.S. accounts for most of the world's debt. We do see from Gold Telegraph, OPEC estimates member countries account for more than 80% of the world's proven oil reserves. China accounts for 63% of the world's rare earth mining and 85% of rare earth processing. Russia, Iran, Qatar account for just under 60% of the world's gas reserves. Petrodollar, question mark. Again, we are seeing all of the value moving away from the West. The US dollar will fall. Listen, right now, we're seeing some relief, but we know at some point in time, this will change drastically. It is going to change everything. Once we see the US dollar lose this level, we focus on the demand ranges, we focus on the areas of support, but honestly, I question the dollar's value already. I've questioned the dollar's value since we started to drastically jump ahead of the March of 2020 levels, and now we question what's going to happen next around the major last straw, which is the petrodollar deal. Now also, as we are seeing this around crypto, there is going to most likely see a lot more volatility with a lot of these events that are happening. One of the biggest ones is Genesis talking about their bankruptcy filing. A lot of people are going to most likely play into this. Remember, I always say, you know, for the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing such bullish news after news after news announcement. I always like to play against the news. When we see bullish news, it's usually time to get bearish. If we see bearish news, it's usually time to get bullish. Right now, as we focus on price action, there is a lot of exhaustion happening. A lot of altcoins are getting a little bit exhausted. Bitcoin might pump up to like 22.8K, but around that range, I get very, very cautious of a reroute down to like 18K or so. So I'm expecting volatility. I'm expecting lower price action. A lot of people are calling new all-time highs, bull run this, bull run that. I'm just very cautious right now, to be completely honest with you. I'm still in positions. I'm like 60-40. I've been mentioning this to you guys quite a bit. But as we really kind of focus on the bigger picture here, there is most likely going to be some black swan event around crypto that we're not going to be able to predict. Could this be it? It's questionable, right? We definitely have to pay attention to a lot of things. There's a lot of warning signs right now around a lot of these markets. Remember, right? Global macro market, things are still looking pretty rough. You know, everybody thinks that we're going to avoid a recession. It's going to be a soft landing this, soft landing that. I'm still, again, you know, I don't believe the soft landing nonsense. I don't believe this, that. It's all one big game. I mean, the Fed is literally playing a game right now. But at the end of the day, we know that things are not going to end well. This is why we do stack up on gold, silver, and even crypto. We've been accumulating quite a bit of gold, silver, and crypto. Specifically physical gold and silver, by the way. But it's because I'm expecting some sort of run up. Listen, I don't think anybody was expecting Bitcoin to do a massive tear into the new year, but we still were positioned. We were buying altcoins low. We were buying, when most people were not even looking at altcoins, and we're reaping the benefits of that. I think that right now, as we really kind of look at these markets and we look at everything happening around the world, everyone is still very uncertain on what's happening. Me, we were accumulating those lows. Now it's time to be a little cautious because everybody is extremely bullish. The sentiment around crypto has changed drastically. I'm sure that all of you are aware. But I still think that we have time to accumulate. I think that, everyone's expecting a massive bull run. And could we go into a wave 5? 100%. But I'm still seeing some lower price action that could happen. So we definitely have to be cautious. We have to be patient. And we have to make sure that what we are seeing is the wave 5, and validation on that in terms of like the wave 5 would be breaking out at like 23K for an example, because that's macro resistance right now. But a rejection off of that could bring us back down to like 17-18K. So that's what we're watching. But again, macro, we still have to be aware of the macroeconomic outlook. Breaking news, a top regulator is warning that big banks may need to be broken into smaller pieces if they become too big to manage. After the 2008 bailout, banks only got bigger. Funny how it all comes together. And when you see the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency is an independent bureau of the Treasury Department. It oversees about 1,100 banks with total assets of $15 trillion. This is crazy. Literally crazy. I mean, yeah, and this is how they will push the CBDC. They're warning of this black swan event. I've mentioned it many times on this channel as well. Like around the petrodollar deal, I think that that's going to be the last major sign of pushing towards a digital currency in the U.S. I think that that's going to be, us rerouting to a CBDC. We're already seeing a lot of plans from the Fed on that. But this was not the only warning sign as well. We recently seen even the World Economic Forum now predicting this catastrophic global cyber attack within the next 2 years. Like, listen closely. This is 37 seconds long. Listen closely to this, and then I will talk about it a little bit more in depth on what I believe that this is going to lead us to.
We're here today to share the findings of the World Economic Forum's Global Security Outlook Report 2023. This is a result of research in collaboration with the forum's communities and our partner Accenture, in which we've interviewed and sought input from over 300 executives globally. The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years. We're here today.
And remember, right, the World Economic Forum, most of the elites are behind this. And what are the World Economic Forum supporting? CBDCs, digital IDs. They're also in support of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which I believe is happening. Fourth Industrial Revolution, everyone should have their eyes on this. Listen, this is fundamentally going to change everyday life. And remember that when we look at the Fourth Industrial Revolution, it's probably one of the scariest topics ever. Do I think that's going to be bullish for crypto? Yeah, but at what cost, right? Because they want to have everything converged into one. Our physical, digital, even our biological footprints merged into one. And this is crazy. This seriously is crazy. Now, them predicting this catastrophic global cyber attack within the next 2 years, it's not them predicting. Listen, this is their plan. They plan for these things to happen. We go over here, right? World Economic Forum event again. Bankers and regulators. This is them showing concerns about Bitcoin and crypto adoption and calling for urgent regulation. This is a clown conference. Listen, they are terrified. They're terrified of crypto. They're terrified of this technology. But what they want to do around this regulation is not have regulation that benefits crypto in any sort of way. They want to have this urgent regulation that's going to stifle growth and stifle this market, most likely bring in regulations saying, okay, well, many individuals are losing money, so you need to have X amount of money to even invest into crypto. This is going to push out a large portion of the retail sector, and it's going to lead to them utilizing this technology for their advantage. What is that advantage, you may ask? Central bank digital currencies. We also even seen the DOJ. They're holding a press conference at 12 p.m. This already happened, by the way. This happened yesterday. For a major international cryptocurrency enforcement action. This is insane. This is literally insane. Like, now they're going after crypto heavy. And we even do see down here, Binance was just given regulatory approval in Poland. I don't believe it involves Binance. And no, I doubt it does. But again, like, this is insane to me. And these regulations and what they're trying to push is only to support what they want them to support. And that's CBDCs and stable coins. We even see here from Bank of America, central bank digital currencies are the future of money and payment. They are coming just like gold stable coins. We even see CBDC tracker. I mean, look at what is happening. So, like, this was 2022. 7 pages of CBDC research planning, pilots. I mean, it's seriously absolutely crazy. It is crazy what is happening around crypto right now. We are seeing blatant attacks on crypto at one of the most insane moments of finance and the monetary system. In my opinion, when we look at the dollar, I really don't even care about valuing my crypto in dollars. I've mentioned this many times in the past. I always look at a lot of my currencies as like, okay, 1 equals 1. That's it. I don't look at it as like, okay, 1 equals this amount of dollars or whatever. Because again, I think that the dollar itself is way overvalued. I actually don't even think that the dollar is even close to the valuation that's put on it. I think that it's just like fairy tale land money at this point, because once the petrodollar deal is gone, there's nothing backing the dollar's value. It's going to be pegged to air practically. So I think that we're about to see a fundamental change in monetary policy. I think that we're about to see a fundamental change in the entire global monetary system, and it's a scary time right now. It really is a scary time, because the elites, the World Economic Forum, them predicting these things, them telling us these things. Listen, you don't need to read into much. They're telling us what they are going to do. Most of this is aligning with a CBDC rollout globally, in all of the major nations. All of the major nations are essentially planning this as well. You could see it all happening. We're seeing proof of concepts, research, piloting, launching. Like, we're even seeing some launched, which is crazy to me. But all of this is moving extremely fast. We've been paying attention to this for so long. And now I think everyone should wake up and really smell the roses, because this is moving extremely fast. And the World Economic Forum, listen, them telling us these things, like, first off, I would argue that it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. And this is all going to play into their hand. They are the house. The house always wins. And the elites, they're going to pull the strings. They're going to make sure that what they have planned works out perfectly. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on, because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.